Unit 3. What exactly do you do? Task 2. Listen to 6 people from the TV studio talking about their jobs. What is each person's job? Then listen again. What keywords helped you decide? 1.
So I listen to the director's instructions and make sure the camera is in the correct position every time.
2.
Well, it's sort of a difficult job because I control all the lights used on the set during the news broadcast. If a single bulb...
3.
Well, during every show, I manage the cameras, lights, sound, and so on. Well, in general, I have to make sure everything goes right during the broadcast.
4.
Not only do I read the news on the air, I also do research for some of the stories and help write some of the scripts.
5.
I do the planning for the program, including arranging the commercial sponsors, taking care of the finances, and making the most important decisions.
6.
I check the sound levels for every show and make sure the microphones work okay.
Task 3. Listen to an interview with 3 people. What are Henry, Janelle, and Rob's jobs? Then listen again. What are each person's job responsibilities?
Okay, Greg, why don't I show you around?
Great, thanks a lot.
Henry, this is Greg Lorenzo. He's from Moorebridge High School, and he wants to interview some people here for their school paper.
Okay.
Why don't you tell him a little about what you do?
Sure. Well, my work is pretty technical. Well, I have to wear these headphones during every broadcast and make sure that the levels are okay and that all the microphones work. You know, stuff like that.
Yeah, well, that sounds important.
It is. So, any other questions?
No, thanks.
Okay, thank you. Now, Greg, come and meet Janelle Lee. You must have seen her on TV. Yes. Janelle, this is Greg Lorenzo from Moorebridge High.
Hello, Greg.
Wow, it's great to meet you. I have seen you on TV so many times.
Well, thank you. What would you like to know?
What are the pros and cons of the job? I mean, it really must be...
Well, to start, on the plus side, it's great when there's a big story breaking somewhere, and I get to do a live interview. But actually, most of the on-air stuff is pretty boring, really. Just sitting in one spot for half an hour reading the news. People think it's really glamorous, but the truth is...
Okay, we have to move on. Let's go over here. Oh, here's Rob Martello. Rob, this is Greg Lorenzo from Moorebridge High.
Nice to meet you, Greg.
Nice to meet you, Mr. Martello.
Oh, call me Rob.
Rob. So, what exactly do you do here, Rob?
Well, I work on a lot of the news programs. It's not really a tough job, but it takes a lot of concentration. I just listen to the director's instructions, keep the camera focused on the newscaster, and fade in and out for commercial breaks. It may not be one of the most exciting jobs here, but I get to see all the action around the studio.
Wow, that is great. Okay, well, thanks a lot, Rob.
Pleasure.
Okay, Greg, now we better head down to the green room because they're about to start the broadcast.
Task 4. Listen to 6 statements and questions. For each one, circle the correct function. 1.
Hello, Henry. Why don't I show you around?
2.
It's nice to meet you.
3.
Henry, that's Greg over there by the door.
4.
What can I do for you, Henry?
5.
Can you tell me a little bit about your job?
6.
Why don't you tell him what you do?
Task 5. Look at the example sentence and listen to the way the t and y sounds combine to make a ch sound. Example.
It's great to meet you.
Look at the following sentences and circle where you think the sounds will change. Listen and check your answers. Listen again. Then practice saying the sentences with a partner. 1.
Why don't you tell him what you do?
2.
Where did you go on the weekend?
3.
Is that the dog that bit you?
4.
What would you like to know?
5.
Why didn't you give me a call?
6.
Had you ever been there before?
Task 6. Donna is head of recruitment at a TV studio. Listen to her give advice to applicants and check the things she talks about. Then listen again and note her 5 pieces of advice.
Well, I get lots of applications every week. Working in a TV studio is seen as a really cool job. Some weeks I must get over 50 different resumes applying for a job. Obviously, the first thing I would recommend to any applicant is this: make your resume short. But make sure all the main points, like your qualifications and experience, are clearly highlighted. Because I get so many resumes, I don't have time to read them all in detail, so I don't bother with any resume that's more than 1 page long. Once I narrow down the field to the applicants I want to interview, other things become important. The first thing I notice in an interview is punctuality. If someone comes late, even 5 minutes, I think they don't take the interview seriously. My strong advice? Don't be late. The next thing I notice is preparation. I like to see applicants who have prepared for the interview beforehand. This can mean looking up the company on the internet to find out about it, or just looking up the requirements of the job so they know how to present themselves. So my third piece of advice is simple: be prepared. Another thing, good applicants are the ones who seem to me that they want the job. So remember, be positive and energetic. I love it when applicants ask me lots of questions. Finally, to give yourself an advantage over other applicants, make sure you get some experience before you apply. If you've done some volunteer work or an internship, that's better than having no experience at all. Overall, though, remember that attitude. Be positive.
Task 7. Listen and circle the answers that are right for you. 1.
Would you like to work in a TV studio?
2.
Do job interviews make you nervous?
3.
Which is more important, a high salary or an interesting job?
4.
Would you rather work for a company or for yourself?
5.
If you were very rich, would you retire now?
Talking